Hello, I'm Rob Elford with Gale Force Winds, here at this exciting venue of Innovation Waves, the inaugural conference being put on by Oceans Advance. So many exciting conversations, and I'm excited about this conversation. So if you don't mind, please introduce yourself and talk about why you're here.
Yes, thank you, Rob. My name is Bill Donovan. I'm the Senior Manager of Strategy and Growth with Angler Solutions. We're a St. John's-based engineering consulting firm, primarily focused on strategic advisory project delivery services, mostly focused on the energy transition, ocean tech, and upstream resources type of sectors. The conference this week for us is touching on a number of facets. First of all, is local. Right, so we certainly want to get ourselves out as much as we can, supporting local events, supporting local organizations that we're members of. We're a member of Oceans Advance. The founder of our company, Chad Follow, is sitting on the next panel, actually, remote operations. But most importantly for us here, it's like, we want to make sure that we're connected to local industry, local government, local partners, and explore opportunities for collaboration. We are a small engineering firm. We're not based on the construction side. We're more on building partnerships, collaborations, locally and abroad, bringing people together and see how we can advance some opportunities.
So how does Oceans Advance help you achieve that?
It connects us, right? And that's like, we're members of multiple industry associations, not just in Newfoundland, but outside Newfoundland as well too. And the key delivery and or an outcome I find with the industry associations is making those partnerships and those connections. Oceans Advance certainly have grown a lot over the years. I'm a former board member of Oceans Advance going back a while, so it's an organization that I've been attached to for a long time. But being able to put off a conference like this, the first go around, it is bringing industry and government together. Like some of the conversations ongoing, just even in the last session there about NATO Diana, is again, how do we bring all the partners together, and how do we get government to really see some of the gaps that are there with SMEs right now, and to be able to work with SMEs to right, I'm going to say shrink those gaps. I think the gaps are always going to be there, but finding opportunities and ways to shrink the gaps are key, and the only way that's going to happen is to bring the partners together, and events like Ocean Waves, or Innovation Waves, is an opportunity to do that.
So let's talk about the opportunities for your company here. With all that's happening geopolitically, and now federal monies being made available in the sector, how could this impact your company?
Well, it is right now, unfortunately for us. So, like I said, our primary space is renewables, energy diversification. We're just, to give you an example, we're just finishing up a scope of work that we've been doing in the U.S. for the last 2.5 years. We had prior to, I'm going to say, January 2025, we had a strong focus on really trying to break into the U.S. market. But once things started changing, and once the political scene started changing in January of this year, we decided as a company to shift gears. So we're not actively pursuing opportunities in the U.S., which is unfortunate, because like I said, we're coming off a project that we supported for 2.5 years in the eastern U.S., and we thought that there's going to be significant growth opportunities. We shifted our focus from U.S. to Europe. We spent a lot of time this past year exploring opportunities in Europe. Through that, we've formed, I want to say, multiple partnerships with European and UK-based companies. Over the last month or so, we've actually won 3 scopes of work on which we have a European partner with us. Unfortunately, I can't get into those right now. We're still contracting them. But for us, it's a testament of the opportunities that exist for Canadian companies outside of Canada, in Europe and the UK. But again, you need to be there. So we invested significantly in the past year to be on site, to travel to events with Newfoundland delegations, with government delegations, and sit down and meet people and explain the opportunities that exist in Newfoundland and in Canada, and see if we can get those European partners and that, more importantly, that expertise.
Yeah.
And we liken the shift in the energy transition, or the renewable sector right now. It's real, and one of the gaps that we see is the expertise is not deep in Newfoundland right now. So we liken it to I'm going to go back to the early days of Hibernia and the growth of the offshore oil and gas industry. Right. In order to grow that industry, we needed to rely on expertise from other regions to be able to grow that. And I think we're there right now as well too on renewables and energy diversification, and bringing in expertise from other regions is key. Yeah. We're not taking away opportunities in Newfoundland and from Newfoundland companies. We're a prime example. We can't lead everything. We don't have the depth within our team to I want to say meet the needs right now of government and industry as we strive towards net zero for 2050. So in order to get there, we need to bring in experts. We need to bring in expertise from other jurisdictions, and that's one of the things that we've done, and right, we're going to be able to demonstrate that in the coming months, that you can still have a strong depth in Newfoundland and Canada by getting expertise and support from other regions.
You know, another dominant theme that's come up throughout this conference, not only the harsh environment that we have here, but also a lot of people are talking about dual-use technologies. Yep. Can you talk a little about that and what that means for your company?
Yeah, well, dual use, I don't want to say it's a reference that's overused right now, but it's one that people are still trying to understand what it actually means. And I'll liken it to the different phrases come along, right? Yeah. The ecosystem, innovative ecosystem is an example that I use a lot. Everyone has a different definition of what that means, and I find dual use right now is the same way. But essentially, it's being able to take technologies, expertise that is working in one jurisdiction, in one area, a sector, and being able to apply it to others. And again, I'm going back to my reference to offshore oil and gas and energy diversification. There are a lot of similarities there, but you don't need to be kind of pigeonholed in one space to be able to make it work. For us, our company right now, we're developing a proprietary modeling tool, a software tool that, yes, we initially saw that opportunity in the energy diversification space, but we've quickly realized and now having conversations that it can support defense. Yes. And more importantly, I'm going to say the Navy and the Coast Guard and the work that they're doing in very remote and rural locations around the country. And it's just kind of having the mindset of saying, okay, well, how can my services, my products support other sectors, and not being stuck and saying, okay, well, we are primarily focused on offshore oil and gas or energy diversification. And then all of a sudden you realize, okay, no, the technologies that we have can apply to other sectors. And if we look at the defense, I find right now defense is crossing over on a lot with ocean technology. Yes. Ocean technology is very broad, extremely, right? If we look at Oceans Advanced as an example, we can say, okay, well, they're an ocean technology industry association, but no, right? There's a lot of talk here about defense. There's a lot of talk about energy diversification. There's a lot of talk about ocean tech. You just need to have the mindset and the focus to realize that, okay, how can what I have support other jurisdictions, and then start peeling back layers of the onion to see where it is, and talk to the right people, and talk to other local SMEs that are maybe a bit more focused on defense. And for us, as being engineering, kind of focused on energy diversification, right? We are speaking. We're talking to Victoria Belvin. We're talking to Randy Billard as an example, yeah. Right? Individuals that are very focused on defense and aerospace, and seeing, okay, well, how can we, right, offer support and services to those sectors, and like the conversations are ongoing and they're exciting, but it takes time.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight, but you need to continue to pursue it. And I think they're legit, and just companies need to stay focused and chase after them.
They are exciting. It does take time. Where do you want to be in 5 years?
Oh my God. Probably, if my answer could be very different than the owner of my company, very much so. Right? He founded the company 5 years ago as a one-person operation. We're up to about 25 people now today. He thought he was going to be a 1-2 person kind of slide into retirement. For us, we see opportunities for us to continue to create opportunities in Newfoundland and Canada. We kind of see our company as a bit of a conduit to branching the expertise in other jurisdictions and bringing it to Newfoundland and Canada, and we feel that we've done that very successfully this year. And I think for us, our goal is to continue that. Like we see a continued push on European markets for us in 2026. We're planning now how we're going to do that. We're looking at opportunities with some of our European and UK partners to explore. Okay, well, we've successfully brought you into Canada with some projects. How can you bring us into your jurisdiction? How can we support some of your operations? And those conversations are real, very much so. So for us, if we look at where we want to see Angler in 5 years, a big focus for us is to continue to explore and grow opportunities in Newfoundland, but not to be afraid, right, to I'm going to say pursue opportunities outside of Newfoundland, even if there's I'm going to say a bit of trepidation, right? You don't know until you go there, right? And we don't know what's going to happen on January 1st. Go back 12 months, right? We kind of the shift in the geopolitical side of things in U.S. and other countries are constantly evolving and constantly changing, and as a company, you need to be able to adopt and to adapt to those changes. And I think that's something that Angler is trying to do, and we're going to continue to do that in coming years.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in all you're trying to achieve. I can only imagine the risks that is involved in some of these strategic decisions you're thinking about. So best of luck. Thanks for your time.
No, my pleasure, Rob. I appreciate it.
What a great pleasure.
All right, cheers.
Take care.
All right.